And welcome back to Superman the Homewrecker. I'm one of your hosts, Brady.
I'm the other host, Dr. Phil.
Oh. Then I should have gone like Steve Wilkos or like Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Springer makes more sense than Dr. Phil.
Why?
I think Dr. Phil would be more like my son.
Oh, I thought you meant for me.
No,
I thought you meant
no.
between Steve Wilkos and
I
Jerry
just...
Springer, the take your top off, show us your boobs and fight. That I was more of a Jerry Springer.
I think I meant more like Homebreakers would be more on Jerry Springer.
Oh,
and
okay.
like my son is dealing with depression goes on Dr. Phil. Like, would they do Homebreaker?
Right.
Would they go in? Like, I don't even know who went on Dr. Phil.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, paid actors, mostly, I think.
Is that confirmed?
No, but
Just highly suspected.
Dr. Phil was one of those guys that, like, when he started out...
By paid actors.
Well, when Dr. Phil started out, like, everyone's mother and or aunt and or grandmother watched Dr. Phil.
Right.
And North America as a whole loved, like, he was doing God's work. And
He's not a real doctor.
And he was...
Is he not?
No, he's not.
Oh, juicy.
But he was like this, you know, he was genuinely helping people, and you thought, like, he seemed like a great guy and all this stuff. And then Dr. Phil fell victim to the same thing that everyone in the age of the internet, where what a piece of shit you are is publicly available to a lot of people, and people who aren't politicians decide that they're going to start acting like politicians, except your morals suck. And so, yeah, not a big Dr. Phil guy anymore.
I feel like there's... I don't know a lot about Dr. Phil. I feel like there's maybe an interesting Netflix documentary to be had there.
Dr. Phil's just, like, in short, he's just a real Southern Bible Belt kind of...
Racist, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if he's necessarily racist, but he's got a lot of, like, hyper-conservative views. So I think deep down, like, I think he's still a good guy. Like,
Sure.
I think he genuinely... was doing his approximation of helping people.
I'd put him in the same category as like Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is to the financial world what Dr. Phil is to the medical or psychology world.
Stay in your lane, and you're incredible at it, right? No, and really, like, so I discovered Dave Ramsey like 3 months ago, and actually Aaron and I started talking about it.
Baby steps.
And he says, if you sort of cherry pick out some of the clips, he says some incredible things. Like some really great, like, oh, wow, this is shareable. That was on the nose. This is really great. But that's
the rest of it is
about
absolute shit.
Yeah, that's about 15% of it.
Right.
He
makes some soundbitey stuff.
Well, the one, because the first thing that I watched, and they always show you the best thing first, right? The first one that I watched was, it was a woman had phoned in. Like, do you know who Dave Ramsey is, right?
Yeah, I've never watched the show, but I've seen a lot of reels, like the sound bites.
So a woman phoned in and was asking him, so like, hey, I'm getting married in 3 months, and we're just trying to sort out and
$2 million of credit card debt.
Well, no, she's just like, I'm just trying to understand this financial thing and how, like, so do we just, like, we join our bank accounts when we get married?
Right.
And he says, well, he said yes, right?
Oh,
he says
okay.
yes. And she said, which I'm like, I'm neither here nor there on. I think you can do it both ways.
Yeah.
Don't do it, ladies.
I think you can do it both ways.
I'm married and I'm saying don't do that.
His perspective was, so this woman said, like, so we just share everything? And he said, well, yes. And she says, like, so we just split everything right down the middle? And he says, no. And she says, well, what do you mean? And he says, well, there is no middle. Right? He says, there is no middle. He says, you're not, you know, when you get married and the preacher's standing there, he says, and now you are one. He doesn't say now you are, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, and so some of this was all janky, but he did say, like, he goes into this stuff about how He says, I have worked for the last 35 years. Mm-hmm. My wife has not carried a job. She's not had a job in 35 years. She has stayed home or she's not brought in an income, right? She has stayed home and raised our children and taken care of the house and done all these things, right? He says, I do not have an income. We have an income, right? He says, this money is no more mine than it is hers. Just because my name's the one on the paycheck, he says, I do not have an income. We have an income. He says, I do not have a car. We have, he says, now we call it her car because she drives it more than I do. And we call this one my car because I drive it more than she does. But she's just as welcome to drive it as I am. And I'm just as welcome to drive that one as she is. And blah, blah, blah. And so as I'm listening to this guy, and I love this, the thing that stuck out to me was this, like, I don't have an income. We have an income. Right? If I make 75% more than she does, I don't get 75% more say on how we spend our money. We both sit down at a table and we make a decision where we each bring an equal weight to what we are going to do with our money. So anyways, this is a huge tangent. Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Man Podcast.
We haven't even set up the show. We're 7 minutes in.
We are joined by Brady. We are joined by Emily. We are here today to review.
Joined by Brady.
We are here today to review Superman.
The only guy on all but one episode joined by Brady. Okay.
Yeah.
It's more like joined by Pete in a lot of ways. No
sure.
offense.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I mean, take your shot. I do think it's funny. Just one more thing on Dave Ramsey. It seems to be the reels that.
I don't know you, lady.
Sorry.
All right. No, it's so good. What is this film actually called? It's Superman Returns.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll just skip my story. Wasn't that good? Superman Returns. 2006 film. We continue our journey in the Superman series.
My graduating year of high school.
Interesting.
2006. Wow.
Yep.
It's a weird... yeah. Okay.
Coming up on 20 years next year.
That's already happened.
I do want to know your story.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good.
Yeah. I'm going to stay up tonight thinking about it.
You won't, but...
Okay, we'll talk about
I
it
will.
after this.
It won't be warranted, but I will.
Okay. But let's dive into Superman Returns.
Okay. Initial impressions?
Yeah.
Emily? What do you think
You
of
want me
Superman
to go
Returns?
first?
Well, yeah, I mean, no, but you're the guest, so you should.
Do I get to go off of the first time I saw this film or this most recent time I saw this film?
This most
yes,
well, you could just
but
give some insight.
Okay.
you can give some insight based on how you used to feel about it. But the review is here in 2025. What is your opinion of this film? Right? Because that's what your score will be. Your score will be,
fair enough.
This is how I currently feel.
I love this film. I maybe it's partly because of when it first came out, and I went and saw it in the theater and was, pretty fresh off.
Because were you into Smallville by the time?
So Smallville had started but hadn't finished, I think.
Right.
It was a few seasons in at this point, and I was excited to see Superman because Smallville is Clark Kent. Smallville is teenage Clark Kent, and it was pretty early on in its life at the time. So I was like, oh, Superman, like we get to see the suit, we get to see him fly, we get to, so I was excited. And it didn't disappoint then. And it still doesn't disappoint. I love this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
IMDb has Smallville as running from 2001 to 2017, which is obviously out to lunch.
No, it had 10 seasons.
Yeah, but that's 16 years.
Weird.
It didn't run 16 years. It ended before 2017.
Yeah, I think it ended in 2010.
Yeah, that sounds right. Or maybe 2011.
Or 2011. Yeah, it
that would
ended
be the 10 years.
right when I was finishing college.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
remember watching the finale with some other...
Was it like a Gilmore Girls where there was some like reunion season?
Nope. 10 seasons.
And that's it. I wonder where this 2017's from.
I don't
That's
know.
weird.
That is weird. That's wrong.
But it's IMDb.
I don't know why it
that's
says
wrong.
that.
Pete, what do you think? What's your initial impression?
I mean, there's a lot of alerts in here. We've got James Marsden alert. Mm-hmm. We've got
playing definitely a weenie this time.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think he's done dirty in this, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
He looks like a weenie. Like they give him a weenie hairdo.
I think he looks
not.
okay. You're hard on him.
He's just the guy that you're with him because he's a nice guy, but you don't actually love him. You know, he's that sucker. Poor
but
guy.
See, that's who Clark Kent was in the previous 4 films.
Yeah.
Or the way
Anyway,
Lois treated him. Yeah. James Marsden alert. Homebreaker alert. Almost as long as Mission Impossible 8 alert.
Sorry, hang on. You're saying James Marsden is the homewrecker?
No.
Oh, okay.
James Marsden, stop. Homebreaker, stop.
Okay.
This movie's long. Stop. Three separate points.
Okay. Because I was going to say there's some homewrecker stuff in this.
It's not James Marsden.
But I don't think he's the culprit.
No.
Though again, that's why I think this guy gets done dirty.
Oh yeah, he's a poor schmuck in this film, 100%.
So poor. Listen, I think this movie's a tale of two halves. I really liked the first half. I like how there's no clunky origin story. We just get right into it. I talked to Emily. I'm shocked that I had never even heard of this movie up till like 6 months ago. Apparently it did pretty well, 74% on Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter, so it's not hated.
Well, that's a better score than I thought.
Critic, 60 for audience.
Okay, what's that about? Okay, we'll get into it.
But yeah, the second half, I thought it got a little clunky at the end. Some of the death scenes, some of the Lex Luthor isms. But the first half, I was really digging it. I was curious where they were going to go. And I felt like there's some unfinished, unresolved storyline aspects for this film that I'm shrugging my shoulders. But overall, it's good.
Okay.
Better than some of the previous ones. Brady, initial impressions on this puppy?
It's a little bit of a weirdo movie, I think, because it is, I mean, it's abundantly clear while watching it what they were setting out to do. And I think that was two things. One is they were setting out to show you a Superman movie that had shit in it that you had never seen in a Superman movie before. Stuff like Superman walking towards a goddamn Gatling gun doing that, and then I'm getting shot in the eye and all this stuff, right?
So cool.
So really cool Superman stuff that we had not seen previously on the big or the little screen when it came to Superman. The other thing that they were clearly trying to do, and I mean, Wikipedia has it listed as a homage sequel, but then doesn't have, like, you can't actually click on homage sequel to say, okay, well then, but what the shit is that?
So it's not an actual sequel? It's like they tried to be a sequel.
It feels like it to me, and my perception of the film always is that this is, and then if you do some digging elsewhere on the internet, they confirm that this is meant to be a follow-up to Superman 1 and 2, ignoring the events of Superman 3, the Slater Supergirl film, and Superman 4 Quest for Peace. Right. So it's kind of ignoring those three films, and we never did Supergirl. Maybe we'll round back to it at some point.
Sure.
This is meant to be a follow-up to, and that's the other thing that I think it set out to do. I think it does a really good job at showing us shit we haven't seen before.
And just to clarify, are you meaning that in a good way or a bad way when you say shit?
A good way.
Yeah, okay.
Right, good way.
Just confirming.
The special effects we're all dying to see.
Seeing things that, that in 2006... these were great super effects.
Even now, I still believe the man can fly.
Yes,
like compared to the other ones,
the flying scenes are fine.
Yeah.
There is obviously some other janky special effects stuff that happens in this, and the film sort of falls in this weird time slot where we look back to the special effects from the 70s and we go, well, obviously we don't believe that, but they're old and they're charming.
Right.
Whereas this kind of falls in the we don't believe it. but it's also not old enough to be charming, so it's just kind of dated and not great all the time. But in terms of, do I think that the second thing it set out to do, which was to create a follow-up to the Christopher Reeve film set in that universe, did it do a good job of that? I'm not sure. And I think I'm leaning a little towards no, but I am close to the fence. I'm maybe not on the fence, but I could reach out and touch it. But I'm a little more currently on the
did it. Yeah.
Right? Like you can't tell me that and we'll get into all that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about, but that's kind of my initial impression is I think it's a weird movie because of the things that I said. There's some great things.
Yeah.
And then there's some also some things where I'm like, for what you're trying to tell me this is supposed to be, I don't know that you're hitting the nail.
I think it's an interesting. I was just thinking of this now because there's that whole model train sequence.
Oh my god, so
screaming.
fun!
Yeah.
But the screaming, it was so funny.
I replayed that part because I was in disbelief.
It was delightful.
I thought, is there screams?
I feel like
this?
that was an homage.
So here's the thing. I think it's funny or ironic or just both or neither. Take your pick. That in the original Superman, they have those scenes like of the small villages and when the dam is breaking and like they had to use it for like the technologies of the time. Yeah, the miniatures.
Yeah.
And then in a 2006 where you could make whatever you want visually, there's a whole prolonged scene that's completely reliant on miniatures.
I think it's fun.
It's so cool.
I loved it.
And then, so piggybacking off of those scenes from the first film,
Yeah.
there's a small part of me, like ultimately it's a good thing they didn't. There's a small part of me that is a little sad that Brandon Routh does not turn back time by flying around the world. Like I think that would have been a nice time. You would have been like, okay, yeah, he's a one-trick pony, but he gets the job done. I mean,
And then he does it even further and just erases James Marsden from the planet.
So let's open the can of worms of this being a sequel to,
Because could you classify it as a legacy sequel?
I mean, I think this is one of the OG legacy sequels.
Well, yeah.
But see, when you do a legacy sequel, I mean, it's interesting because we're now living in the era of legacy sequels.
They're coming
out left, right, and center.
The time.
They just announced Spaceballs 2 the other day. And more often than not, I would say 95% of the time, it is, sure, it's been 30 years since the last film came out, but it's also been 30 years in universe, and we're bringing back the original cast. And yes, they're much older now, but that's because it's been 30 years since the events of the first one, right?
Yeah, that's true.
This is not that. This is 5 years later. 5 and, plus however long it took for the astronomers to be like, oh, we think Krypton's still out there. And so then Superman takes off, right?
Yeah.
So the things I think it does well in terms of being a follow-up is we're still not trying to hide the fact that this is New York City.
Oh, I think they do away with it.
It wasn't as bad.
They have the Empire State Building sitting right there.
I didn't notice this time.
I didn't even notice. I didn't clue in.
Is it? Brianna and I both said out loud, we're like, oh yeah, New York. It's still very clearly New York.
Yeah, okay. I didn't notice that.
But they didn't show like the Statue of Liberty.
They don't show the Statue of Liberty.
That's the thing
that
that really triggered me before.
But they did have the Empire State Building, and so it was like, okay.
Triggered.
And I'm not even sure what else would be recognizable because I'm not trying to be morbid about this, but in the other ones they have the Twin Towers.
They have the Twin Towers.
Obvious.
So in New York, I mean, you'd have Empire State, Chrysler.
Yeah,
and
I don't know
then,
if I'd recognize that though.
Oh, you would.
Would I? Okay.
Yeah, you've seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies?
Straight up had Times Square in the other movies too, didn't they?
Oh, they have Times Square in this one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
that.
they have. There's a shot of Times Square
Clearly, I'm
Yeah.
not paying as close
Yeah.
attention.
So there's a shot of Times Square.
Okay,
You're
I'm
like,
enjoying the special effects this time.
At least it
So
wasn't Yankee
I'm
Stadium
like
or something,
in the story more than I was
But-
before.
Yeah, me too.
So I think
Yeah.
but I'm not counting that as a demerit. Whereas
No.
we sort of did the first time around. This time
That-
it's like, well,
maybe
no, but it's
It was a
maybe
bit
it's
more
like
subtle.
an homage again.
Yeah.
More
again,
homages,
I like it because I'm
Yeah.
like, this is true to the films that came before.
right?
So that's good.
It was more modern day New York. Like there wasn't like a prostitute on cocaine walking
Yeah.
down the street or anything. Like the
They-
1970s.
They kept the costumes simple. I don't think it looks near as good this time. It's like they sort of tried to update it a little bit, but I don't like it
I don't dislike it. I think I like Christopher Reeve's
better.
costume
it's a
better,
slightly
but
more
this is-
vibrant blue.
But this isn't bad. I
He's
found the
just got
cape.
this
The
big,
cape wasn't as
bulky,
good.
like hot glued on emblem on his
The
chest.
CGI cape was a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's used in
Yeah.
the flight sequences. Yeah.
And his hair moving threw me off because Christopher Reeve, his hair was just like gelled down. So when his was blowing in this movie, I'm like, wait.
Brandon Routh did not have good hair in this film.
No, he did not.
No, like both the Clark Kent hair and the Superman hair is just like a little bit more. It's like almost like
Didn't they do the parting on opposite sides thing?
they did the parting on opposite sides, but instead of like Christopher Reeve, where it's a little more like combed back, a little more like looking like that sort of iconic comic book Superman, this is sort of just like he's got bangs that come down in front of his ears, and
But
then
he
they
spends half the
really
film like in the water and
yeah, but they really
Like,
overdid the S
curl?
curl in this one.
But it's
Oh, okay.
like
it's a
really
classic,
overdid
isn't it?
Yeah, but they like
I don't know. I didn't notice this.
they
Okay.
they really overdid the S curl. My big issue with this film was in terms of it feeling like okay, so piggybacking off that, I don't think Brandon Routh is as good as Christopher Reeve.
No.
I did not like him
think all three could
really
agree.
as Superman.
Yeah,
I don't
think
dislike him. I thought he was good, but Christopher Reeves
has
I
the
like a lot
look.
more.
Yeah.
But
He had the look, but then the voice, like there didn't seem like there was as big a distinction between this Superman and this Clark as there was with Christopher Reeve and right with Christopher Reeve, you really felt like okay, Clark is a clumsy, bumbling, nerdy sweetheart.
Yeah.
And this time around, you didn't get that as much.
Yeah.
I think the best scene Superman wise was when he came on the plane and said, "I hope this hasn't put any of you off
Yes,
flying."
and that was a great scene.
I was like, "Oh, this is like the classic kind
That's
of
the
Christopher Reeve vibe."
And that's like a legit.
Yeah.
He
You
says
know,
that in
it's still the
in the
safest
first
way to
film,
travel.
I think, when the helicopter goes down.
I think the
Yeah,
big
I don't know.
ball dropping.
No,
in-
like legit. It was
Yes.
like a word
Oh,
for
yeah.
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
the big ball dropping in terms of this feeling like a follow up to the previous films is that by the time we reach Superman 4, Margot Kidder's Lois Lane is starting to worry about impending menopause. And in this one, our Lois Lane is like, can't believe she just aced her finals. Like they really just turned the clock back 20 years on Lois.
But I
I
thought
did-
you said we were discounting 3 and 4.
Okay, what? But
like,
even
just for the
still,
context,
by
yeah.
Superman 2, she's clearly pushing. She's like late 30s, pushing 40.
Yeah, there's
Do
quite
they
the
ever
age.
imply age?
I don't think so.
no, she's just either that or she's smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Which
'cause
she was.
She's weathered.
The thing with this Lois Lane is I think the actor was 23 when
Margot
she
Kidder
was-
or this Lois?
no, this Lois.
Kate.
And so you're
Or-
thinking, okay, I guess she popped
What's
out
her
this
name?
kid when she was like 15.
How?
Like how old is this kid? He's
Is-
at least 8.
No, he's 5,
Margot.
right?
No
Kidder.
way in hell
no,
is
he's
he
older than
5.
that.
But aren't we supposed to assume it's been 5 years?
Oh, or 6 at most.
So what year did?
Yeah, that's true because he's surprised
He
by
doesn't
the kid's
look like a
existence.
5-year-old.
You're correct. Yeah,
But I'm
it
pretty
looks
sure
like
we're
an
supposed
8-year-old.
to assume he's 5
Yeah,
to 6
so maybe
years
in the
old.
universe it's supposed to be 5. Okay, so she was 18, I guess. And I don't know how
You're not
old.
going to be working at the Daily Planet when you're 18.
No.
So yeah, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. She's probably in the universe, probably closer to 5. Because he was surprised that she was married, surprised that she had a kid.
Yeah.
So in Superman
married.
2, Margot Kidder was...
She was engaged. A prolonged engagement, said Jimmy.
So do you
by
think
the way,
okay,
Jimmy Olsen, great Jimmy Olsen.
Are we gonna just take bets right now? I thought they were married, so they're just engaged.
Yep.
Yes.
Is she walking away?
Oh, for sure. She never planned to marry him.
This guy.
Really?
This guy.
Poor James Marsden.
She was going to marry
I told you
him.
he was a sucker.
I feel bad for this
She
dude.
was going to marry him out of spite for Superman. Like that was why
I don't
she
know
was
if I
with
call
this
it
I don't know
guy.
about
that.
spite,
You don't want to be alone with a kid. You find a nice guy.
Like there was going to
You-
be, it didn't happen, but there were talks of a sequel. If that sequel had happened, do you think she walks away from? Like, is James
100%,
Marsden
she
even in
dumps him.
number 2?
No, yeah, she'd dump him.
I feel bad.
as the villain.
I feel bad. This
No.
guy gets done so dirty.
No, he's like
No, if they had done a second one, I could totally see James Marsden. They totally would have done that. They
He
would have
gets
made him the
bitter.
villain.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh
No.
yeah,
I see it.
Yeah,
No, I
wanting
don't
to
see
kill
it.
But,
Superman
like,
for
Iceman or someone, but yeah, you make it.
No. I didn't get jealous vibes from him. I got
No, but you will eventually.
no,
yeah.
but in this film, what part of what I loved about his character is that he could see it. He was like,
Yeah,
I feel like
he knows.
you know, you could like see it in his eyes of like, I think I knew you never really loved me, but now I can see.
Like when they're doing the
that you
dishes at
never
their
loved
house,
me.
and she's asking about like, hey, that story you wrote about Superman, and she's like, oh, which of the 6 are you talking about? Like,
okay.
just this week.
Yes, there is like I'm
He looks
engaged.
hurt.
There's
He
I'm
is hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but there's I'm engaged to this woman, and she has a crush on a intangible celebrity type thing that like
But it's different
people will
when,
be
like-
people. This movie ends and he still thinks that's his kid. Right? Like this guy's got some real upset coming his way. It's not just that like her heart belongs to someone else.
Right.
I have for the last 5 years had you believe that this was not super sperm.
Maybe she wasn't sure.
I think
Who
she
knows,
knew.
right? It's
I
I don't
think
know
she
about that.
knew.
I don't know about that.
I
think she looked shocked when that piano
I think she
flung
looked
across
shocked.
the room.
That's
I think
my
she
point
looked
is.
shocked,
So
yeah.
question.
She thought she was like, I wasn't sure, but now, oh shit.
Fan theory.
This is turning into Jerry Springer, and I
head
love it.
cannon. Head cannon. This boy, whatever his name is, Tommy, Timmy,
I don't even care. I don't remember.
Kenny,
Tim.
honestly don't remember his name.
Billy,
Jim.
Asthmatic Alan, whatever the.
Which never came. Like I thought, here we go. He's going to lose his puffer at some point, and this is going to be a plot
Yeah.
device. Like it's one scene and then never
Yeah.
comes back.
This boy, hands down, like if this is a follow up, thinking about timelines, hands down, pants down, this kid was conceived in the Fortress of Solitude, and we saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In which case,
Well, that's what is
she
implied,
didn't
right?
know that it was Clark's baby because she doesn't remember them boinking because he took
Okay.
her memory away.
So there
She didn't know it was his.
This is
Maybe.
where the inconsistencies lie, right?
Sure.
Where she isn't supposed to remember that she did that in the fortress with Clark.
Yes. The old
But-
Krypton kapow.
But there's other parts where you think maybe she does remember that and she is
In this film.
wondering, is this kid Clark's?
Yeah.
Or Superman's? Like, does she think she slept with Superman or does she think she slept with Clark? Does she know either one? Like, right? That's there's
She-
weird inconsistencies.
yeah, in
Her
this
memory's supposed to be gone.
She seems less rude to Clark in this one. Like she's
Yeah.
walking all over him less, but she is just as like she doesn't like Clark's head could catch fire and she might not notice, right? Like I don't think there's any part of her that thinks that her and Clark have had sex.
Okay, so
No, I think you're right.
so either she remembers that she did the dirty with Superman,
I
or
think
she doesn't remember anything.
I think she thinks it's Cyclops'
but
kid.
but it makes Cyclops. But it makes more sense to me that James Marsden came into the picture after she was heartbroken by Superman leaving and not saying goodbye, right? So then you do a rebound and you end up with kind of a Mamma Mia situation where you don't know whose kid it is.
But they would have. So if this baby was conceived in the Fortress of Solitude,
it's a big if.
Then Superman has to leave like. Then Superman has to like adios the next couple of within the next month, and then she's got to rebound real fast in order for James Marsden, unless he is a total idiot, to think this could possibly be a baby that I had a part in.
You have a little bit more play there, I think.
Little bit.
You have a little bit. You've got maybe it's going to take her about a month to figure it out.
Well, especially because
and then she's probably immediately heartbroken.
Yes.
That he left without saying goodbye, and she's gone and found some nice guy and maybe had a one-night stand. Maybe that turned into a relationship that she didn't intend.
And as long as the baby wasn't born too big, you could the fact that the kid is essentially the kid in the plastic bubble, you could easily pass off. Yeah, this was 10 weeks early. Yeah. Okay.
I just think it makes sense. That makes more sense to me, like it being he's the rebound and she doesn't actually know whose kid.
Yeah,
it is.
It's possible.
Also,
I think that whole time maybe she was like, I'm pretty sure it can't be because this kid got asthma and allergies out there. Like he is not. He's not.
I regret my son. But then there's some weird Kryptonian reproductive biology stuff going on because it's like,
I mean,
why does he get to be 5 before he's got enough charge from the sun to actually be able to do anything?
Well, maybe he's half and half, right? Like, what do you call this?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit
how does it work?
He's a twisted T.
Are we going to talk about the pieces of DNA and stuff that come to get technically it is half and half when you're talking about humans and humans. What is it when it's a human and a alien?
Well,
right?
So again, it implies, and I mean, that's the thing. It's interesting, and I mean, obviously, you're not supposed to delve this deeply into it, but if a Superman sneeze could potentially blow your house over, right?
How is this kid not broke his neck or something?
How was her spine not blown out when he ejaculated? And how did they conceive?
What?
How did they conceive child?
Right.
And he was able to
he was human.
Pinch it off a little. And
was he not human? But he didn't have powers.
In which version? Ooh, yes. In the theatrical version, he's human. You're right.
Yeah. Well, okay, you can't say
in
human.
In the Donner cut,
it's not like we changed his
he's mortal.
DNA.
I thought he was human in both.
Human DNA, but he is not.
In the Donner cut, it's super sex.
Yeah, right? Which version are we talking about?
In which case could explain because Clark didn't have his powers when this kid was conceived. And so
technically not super powered. But also technically still Kryptonian DNA.
And this is the first time that this Kryptonian DNA kid has been in the vicinity of Kryptonian crystals and kryptonite and which could have triggered some sort of mutation, and now he's got powers.
Maybe.
It feels like doing an episode with Carl. It's wild.
I think they did this because it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Having a kid who could possibly be Superman's kid is just fun.
It is random, but it is fun.
The kid throwing the piano across the room was so fun.
It was unseen.
Violent. There's a couple things in this film. That's violent.
He did it to save his mother.
One dog eating another dog is violent.
Holy shoot. And the cut scene at the end where Lex Luthor's like, yeah, we be eating that dog, honey.
Yeah.
It's happening.
There are a couple of moments where I was like,
when they start
dipping into PG-17.
Well, even when they beat the snot out of Superman, he's on the ground and they're kicking him.
Yeah.
Spear him.
Yeah.
Stab his ass.
Yeah, well, that's where you stab someone.
Yeah, this movie doesn't pull its punches.
No, it doesn't. As you would say, because you did last week. You're going to say it again?
What am I going to say?
I should have made a sound thing. Say, this movie doesn't pussyfoot around.
I said that?
You did.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, wow. Pete said foot. And you're like, yeah. Yeah.
Censor that.
That's okay. Emily drops the F-bomb in the same episode, and I'm not planning on editing anything.
Did I actually?
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
No, it's good. You're a guest. You're allowed to do whatever.
Cool.
Yeah. As far as we're concerned, all this gear is yours.
Do you make me pay money like they do on like Jimmy Fallon and stuff if I swear?
Is that a thing?
I think so. I think he makes people pay because it costs money to censor it.
Yes.
So they make the guests
Yes, we have
pay.
done that.
We do.
That
we
is
do.
been-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do I owe you?
I just forgot.
And we recorded you on the way here.
Yeah.
So those count too.
Yeah. $500 seems steep. I don't know why that's our policy.
I feel like Pete
but it's just-
might be personally offended by my swearing.
I don't think so.
He's like, I counted it on the way.
I
here.
don't.
I did not. I swore to be fair.
Pete isn't offended by swearing. Pete is an empath, and he is
Oh, it's same as Aaron then.
worried
but I corrupted
that
him.
the listener is offended by the swearing.
Yeah.
And so we're not
Yeah.
allowed to say things like,
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
What are we gonna talk about the opening graphics?
Can we?
we talk about
Because-
that. But while we're on cast, can we really quickly just touch on?
We can touch on all the
Okay.
cast. We should do
Kevin
comparisons.
Spacey,
Is amazing.
amazing.
And there's a little disclaimer
I
here
love
because I
him
know
as Lex
he's
Luthor.
still. I know the people's heads are still up their ass, and it's a hot topic. And look, the man won all of his court cases. He was found not guilty. And as Pete and I and Carl and I and whatever have said on this show 1,000 times over, there is a different someone. Let's say he was guilty. Someone can be scum of the earth. It can still be a really good actor, right? Like,
Is this after we converted you because of Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible? Because for so long you were like, I'm not watching Mission Impossible because Tom Cruise is an asshole. You've changed your mind.
To me, that was never serious. I just thought that was a fun
Stick.
All right.
a fun stick.
Yeah.
I just needed
but
to
no,
throw that
because
in
I've
there.
always been in that band camp. Because to this day, my stance is Bill Cosby, scum of the earth. Really funny, talented comedian from
Right.
the 70s, right? Like, he was successful for a reason. So, anyways, Kevin Spacey, yes, in this film, excellent. He is the one actor. He's the one role that I think is better
Nailed it.
in this film. I think he's a
Yeah.
better Lex than Gene Hackman.
You get the right vibe.
Oh, his introduction
The-
there
the
at the
whole-
woman's deathbed.
The whole
Oh,
thing.
cringe city.
Yeah, but the whole thing of he's I just feel like the Lex in the Christopher Reeves movies was kind of like a joke, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
It was a continual joke that spanned the whole movie, and it's like you're waiting for
It's
the
not that-
punchline, and it never lands.
yeah. Whereas this is a formative villain.
Yeah.
This is a, you get the correct vibe of like it's still the same like plot line.
The exact
which
same
I think
scheme.
I think people criticized largely, saying like, oh, it's the land again. It's land. I'm like, do we think this guy's gonna suddenly change his motives? Like, he's wanted this the whole time. It makes sense to me that he still
all
wants
plots
that.
are the same, like sex,
He just
drugs,
wants to be rich.
Like the same basic story elements are the same. So like land.
I don't
is just
understand
as
why we're mad at that.
significant. Yeah,
He's-
like
But he's not a one-dimensional character in this film. I didn't
No.
feel that. There's a bit of greed. There's a bit of, needing to have power. There's just a revenge plot going on.
His female
Superman shouldn't be
companion's
allowed to
still
be
useless.
to exist. What does he say? God doesn't fly around wearing
Gods don't
red,
fly around wearing
flaunting their powers,
blue tights
not
and red
sharing
capes.
it with
Yeah.
the world or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, he's got a personal like vendetta.
Yeah.
And you felt it through this film.
And
Like, it
I
was-
love the line. See if Gemini can help me out here. What is
a Lex line. He did say.
Lex's
I wrote something
line.
down where he says
there
something
was a
like,
few.
"You will see the world through my eyes."
I do. Well,
The father becomes the son, or the son becomes the. He says
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that.
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
While you're looking it up, like I do, I completely agree. There was times I thought it was a bit hokey, but I think it maybe was more the writing. But I think it was light years ahead of Gene Hackman.
Now, who knows how he figured out? Again, how does Lex figure this? I guess, okay.
I bought it a bit more with
He
this.
went to the fortress and he learned everything.
Yeah, and it was just
he figured out kryptonite and he...
It was just so comedic. They landed at the Fortress of Solitude and we didn't have to have, I haven't peed in 2 weeks jokes, you know? And even just...
I mean, Kitty is still kind of a...
But she's not...
My heart! I've got a murmur!
But she's playing up to that, right? Like, it's not just...
Yeah.
Some of the lines... It's different when they're playing up to it and when they're just like in passing. It's not perfect. You're right.
Right.
But even Kitty's not one-dimensional in this
No,
film,
she's
right?
not.
Lex, are billions of people really going to die? She has a moment of like, I got to do something about this. She kind of she lets the crystals fall.
Yeah.
You know, she sabotages Lex's.
It was fulfilling to see his
plan.
plot. Yeah, his plot to kind of go sideways.
And I think it was just because that tiny moment when Superman saved her from the speeding car, how she was like, I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side. So great characters there. I guess we've touched on.
Do you think it's nuts that
Brandon.
they had that model train in the basement?
This is the line I liked.
Lex, this isn't the train set.
This is the moment I liked, and I liked this because and there's another line at another point in the film that Jimmy delivers, and it just sort of explains because it's like, you know, in previous films you're like, my God, somehow Lex got out of prison again, or Lex is still kicking, or Lex is still whatever.
Something, yeah.
Whereas Jimmy explains, they called Superman as a witness.
Yeah.
He didn't show.
He didn't show, and so I love this moment where Lex says, but we're not strange. He's talking to Lois. He says, but we're not strangers, are we? This is kind of a little reunion, isn't it? Heck, I'm a fan. I love your writing and your dress. Lois says, I love your boat. How'd you get it? Swindle some old widow out of her money? Lex gushes and chuckles mockingly. That's funny. And didn't you win a Pulitzer Prize for my favorite article of all time, Why the World Doesn't Need Superman? Lois says, didn't you have a few more years to go on your double life sentence? And Lex pauses as he glares at her. Yes, well, you can thank the Man of Steel for that. I mean, he's really good at swooping in and catching the bad guys, but he's not so hot at little things like Miranda rights and due process. And I was like, yes. The fact that it doesn't work for you to just swoop him up and then drop him off within the prison walls and be like, you can take it from here, gentlemen. Right? And then,
Yep.
we'll see you later.
Lex found the loopholes in the system, right?
You really, it's a good point because it's really neat to have a occurrence that gets Lex Luthor out of jail that isn't just a hot air balloon showing up out of someone's ass.
So hokey.
But it also shows ramifications of Superman left for 5 years and things that he did for good were unraveled by his absence. It's really, it is a good story element.
This is my second favorite line. There are some great lines in this film.
Yeah.
Where Lois is arguing with Perry White about not wanting to do any stories.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I've done
Chief,
Superman.
I've done Superman.
Oh,
You know what I mean.
Covered him. You know what I mean? I was like, that's a great line.
it was actually funny.
Because they do. There's so much foreshadowing of like,
Yep.
this is
kid.
Cal's kid. This is Bob L. Or whatever. Kevin.
Okay. Opening credits? Was
Perfect. The best ones.
I don't know if I was the best, but they were pretty good.
They got more and more aggressive as they went on. We're like going through wormholes and through tunnels, and it started to be like, okay, what's happening?
It starts really strong.
It starts really
good. I
good.
love that the theme is back. I love that they didn't try to get, they didn't try to go, oh, well, it's been 30 years. We're capable of fancier graphic. No, they were like, this is how the intro to the Superman movies is done.
Yeah.
Right.
But they really wanted to make sure we knew that we're in space.
That you're in space. And that, yes, there's no gravity, but things will just go.
But from the rip, like the same music, the same, is it Kal-El?
Yep.
Like all these things, they do it in tandem. Like they're not pussyfooting around. We're in the same universe, right? It's not a new Superman theme. It's not totally new graphics.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were saying we didn't get like a clunky origin story, but we did get a beautiful scene of
running
Kid
and
Clark
jumping.
running through the cornfields and then like crashing through the barn roof and not landing on the ground.
I thought, yes, a beautiful that it was included. I did think that scene.
I mean, the CGI was a little.
The CGI is terrible in that scene.
But when he falls through the roof of the barn and doesn't land on the ground.
Yeah, so I love
and he's
that.
like floating there. I thought that was really cool.
I think the only really dumb thing about that scene was him clipping and clearly taking out like half a foot of roof of the peak of the roof on his way to the barn, because it was just like it felt like
he doesn't have control over his powers.
No, I know, but just the number of things he hits and how it's done and the way it felt like the filmmakers were like, well, we've got all this CGI now. Look at what we can do. Do you know what I mean? Like it was kind of like less is more, and you could have achieved the same effect. There was just, to me, there was like one too many visual gags that happened there. But yes, no, I love that realization of like, I can fly.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. It was like a young Clark trying to figure out his powers and being like, oh. I can actually control the effect that gravity has on my body. Very cool.
We still have Ma Kent because we're ignoring the events of the third and fourth.
Playing Scrabble with her dog for 5
she
years.
Is older than Rose from the Titanic at this point. but she's still there.
I mean, there's some parallels to Rose as well, just about a woman who marries someone else out of convenience but really loved someone else.
Right. What?
But like you have Rose who married her husband,
right?
Had a whole life, but really she only loved Jack.
I don't know that that's true.
Likewise,
she never goes in this film.
Just go with me for this. Likewise with this, we've got Lois who is engaged prolongedly.
Yeah.
Out of convenience, but really just loves Superman.
Yeah, it seems like a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not wrong.
There's no line in Titanic where it's like
she had a full life.
Jack died and I got stuck with dead weight for 60 years.
But it's implied by the fact that she's not telling her story about
she would have moved
man.
on.
170 pounds of stupid.
I think
until he turned into 210 pounds of stupid.
I think Superman I think that's why she's mad when he comes back.
Right.
Because she's like, it's been 5 years and I'm still pissed at myself that I'm not over you, and now you're back to F it all up again.
And any progress.
She would have moved on if he'd stayed gone.
Any progress that I have made in getting over you is now for naught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought the plane crash in the baseball field was fun.
Yes. Fun, but she should have been dead 6 times over. Like her spine hit the roof and the window, and I'm like Raggedy Ann over here.
Thing.
Well, I mean, they all should have been dead, because I'm watching this and I'm like, this is the best built airplane I have ever seen. There's no way that the fuselage has not just peeled open like a can of sardines, and then somehow you made it.
I mean,
into
the whole
like,
back end was on fire.
The whole sequence seemed a bit
but
hokey
they make
too.
it outside of the atmosphere.
But it's fun.
It wasn't great. Like, it's in a 3-hour movie that was a sequence that it could have just been a normal plane flying.
But this is the thing that they wanted to play. Right? We have this new technology. We're making a Superman movie like 30 years later. We've got some power.
New technology, but it's pretty shitty that like one little blip and like we're all screwed. You know what I mean? Like, it's not many fail safes of
technology.
I guess it wasn't
us.
a bloop. Was it like an actual? I don't even.
It was an
it was him throwing the
electromagnetic
kryptonite.
pulse.
It was the Krypton thing.
Okay.
Caused
So
by.
it wasn't just like a power
blackout.
surge or
It was a
something.
blackout of everything.
Well, it was-
including.
Yeah, it was an EMP blast.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it wasn't
From
just
the kryptonite.
electricity that
And
was
that's why
hardwired
Lois
in.
is so interested in it. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's like,
Okay.
what the hell
Okay.
caused that?
Okay.
Yeah, which is a thing about this film where it's kind of like Perry White's
If
got...
Perry had let her cover that story, maybe she wouldn't have ended up
Yeah.
a prisoner on Lex's boat.
Perry White in this film, this is one of the spots where I feel like the writing was they dropped the ball a little bit, because Perry White in this film has got a bigger hard-on for Superman than Jay Jonah has for Spider-Man, right? Like, it's just, he's like, Lois is going to have to compete with Perry for Superman's hand. Like,
yeah, but think of it from, like, he's the editor, right? He's the chief editor, whatever. Previously, Lois was the one who got the inside scoop on Superman the first time. Mm-hmm. So now that he's back, which newspaper is gonna get the scoop?
I know.
He's basically like, we gotta take it before somebody else does.
But they couldn't even. He wasn't even willing to put like one person on like a page 6 thing on the MP. Right?
No, he gave Clark
like
he gave Clark the blackout.
He was like,
oh, that's true.
Like,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, but he's like sitting at a boardroom table, and one person comes up to him, and two employees come up to them. And they both have different stories for him. Right? And he's like, he looks at the one guy and he goes, "What do you got?" And the one guy goes, "Stock market's crashing, chief. Like, it's the end of the world." And he looks at the other guy and he says, what do you got?" And he goes, "Superman had tuna salad for lunch, chief." And he looks at the guy with the sandwich story and he goes, "Run it."
No, he's at the table and he says, sports. What's his favorite team? Like he's making everything about Superman. Which, I mean, you kind of can't blame him. It's a pretty big story. Superman's back. Mm-hmm. I can't really fault him for that.
But the guy runs a newspaper. Which, okay, so that's your front page. But what the hell are you printing for the rest of the paper? It's basically turning it into, when like Time Magazine or People or whatever will be like the, everything you ever wanted to know about O.J. Simpson, right? And then it's like just like the whole, it's like 60 pages on what a piece of shit O.J. is, on how O.J. would have done it, right? And then like, yeah,
I didn't do it, but if I did,
but if I had,
oh boy,
oh man.
Okay, but some solid special effects, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We got the real fun scene of him walking towards the machine gun. We got the bullet to the eyeball. Yep. Mm-hmm. So fun.
The bullet to the eyeball is great.
I think there's some good practical effects.
Yep.
Where the sinking boat one was great.
Titanic, another parallel.
It was very Titanic-ish.
Yes.
Wasn't it? Mm-hmm. But that was a practical effect, and I thought it was great.
Okay.
Part of it was, right?
Yeah, sure,
when the boat broke in half and fell.
Oh, okay. Like Titanic.
And he's like pulling it up out of the water. That looked practical to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm noticing some parallels here.
What? Type for Titanic? Yeah, I know.
And there weren't enough lifeboats on that boat.
Really fun.
Funny enough.
Yeah. Really fun.
But not CGI crazy. Not overwhelmingly CGI.
It didn't make me cringe.
No.
Like there were a couple of moments where I'm like, I think the only time that I was like, oh yeah, that's CGI was like what we've already mentioned, the cape and the young Clark jumping. That there's that early CGI effect of jumping that we've seen. You know what I mean? Like you can tell, this human body isn't moving correctly. Like
it's not a
there's
human
something
body
weird
works.
about this. Yeah,
this looks like a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's something. It's like rubbery. I don't know. I can't explain it, but you know what I mean.
I did think that they went and this was something Brienne noticed it first, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, great. Thanks for ruining this for me now." They went really, in order to not only make him look like Superman, but to also make him look like Christopher Reeve a little bit more. They went a touch aggressive with the blue contacts. Like, he needed blue. Obviously, like it made sense to give him blue contacts.
They were very
but this was
blue.
this was Gatorade blue. This was like,
yeah. Okay, I want to bring up something that I brought up in the car on the way here.
Okay,
that apparently Pete didn't notice. Which I was like, it's glaringly obvious to me, but maybe, I don't know.
Is it?
No, they really hit us over the head with the Christ parallels in this film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So we got...
I didn't pick up on it.
You didn't pick up on it?
I did
it's
not.
nuts to me. So maybe it's the upbringing.
Yeah.
My upbringing. But I feel like we all have the same upbringing in this sense. But They beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Lex stabs him in the right side.
Yeah.
He when he pushes the whole giant island back out into space and then falls to Earth, he's got his arms out straight and his feet together. And then he I am assuming, although I don't know if it's explicitly mentioned, that it's 3 days in a coma. And then he wakes up and the bed is empty. Come on. We know that there's evidence of this. There's evidence. The creators of Superman did intend this.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There is, it's on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The parallels are on purpose, but we know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to make it
Over the
so
head.
painfully obvious.
And it's interesting because the director of this film, Bryan Singer, another huge piece of shit, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
Just
Don't tell me he's a Christian.
no,
Do you have a whole
no, he's not Christian, but he's sexual assault allegation after sexual assault allegation.
Well, it doesn't mean he's not a Christian.
No, he's actually Jewish,
Okay.
and so it's interesting for
I bet that
it to be do you know what I mean? To be Jewish, born and raised Jewish.
interesting.
And there's clearly JC parallels
Oh, very clearly to me.
all throughout this film.
If you watch it again through that lens, you'll see it.
Yeah.
But it stood out to me.
That spot
It stood
where-
out to me the first time I saw it, and it's again, of course.
Especially that one part where the Superman shows up and that guy's only got one fish, but then when Superman leaves, there's a lot of them.
It was inspiring.
There's
really.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, not sure if anybody else noticed that, but I sure did.
Are we ready to score this thing?
Yeah, I don't know where else to bring this up, but
No.
we're
Oh,
done the
okay.
Christopher Reeves
Yeah.
for. I completely forgot. Was there a Christopher Reeves cameo in the
Smallville.
No. Well, maybe.
There
But,
was.
in the Michael Keaton Batman.
No. No.
Is that a fan-made thing I saw?
There is a Christopher Reeve cameo, a post-mortem Christopher Reeve cameo in the Ezra Miller Flash movie, which because it deals with multiverse and stuff like that, which has Michael Keaton in it as Michael Keaton plays a prominent role in that film as Batman from 2021 or something
Gotcha.
is when that came out.
I think it was a reel that I watched, and I obviously wasn't paying close attention.
Some people they've put them together,
Okay.
and even though it was never explicitly, so the closest to them ever being in a film together or confirmation that they're in the same universe is two things. One was our just perception as audiences at the time that this is Christopher Reeve is currently Superman. And then Michael Keaton was Batman, and these films were in the same era. And then there is one reference to a Superman existing in one of those Batman movies. There's a little gag in Batman and Robin where Chris O'Donnell's...
I thought the whole movie was a gag.
Yeah. Chris O'Donnell's character is like, I want a car. Chicks dig a car. Because he just has a motorcycle, which is silly because I'm pretty sure, quote unquote, chicks dig the motorcycle more than the car in the late 90s, but whatever. But he's like, chicks dig the car. And then it's when George Clooney's Batman looks at Robin and goes, this is why Superman works alone. And then gets in the car and drives off. So that's about the closest. It was the understanding that if they are, and in this film we do get reference to Gotham, Right? There's a little throwaway line of like, oh, shit's real bad in Metropolis and as far as Gotham.
Yeah,
and
they did mention Gotham.
Which is weird to say as far as Gotham because they're literally like
shit's always bad
opposite. Like to give you a perspective of like, and if this is only going to make sense to you if you know Ontario, but like if Metropolis is Toronto,
Right.
Gotham is Burlington. Right, like they're
Really?
They're on the other side of the water from each other.
Oh, okay.
But it's like you can see.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like
Okay.
there may be the harbor, that Metropolis Harbor is maybe like a mile and a half away from the Gotham Harbor.
Jeez.
And they're two vastly different looking cities, right? Like shithole over here and then Gotham over here.
Right.
So. Okay, Emily, on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Superman
I suddenly
Returns?
wish I'd remembered what I'd rated the other ones, but I'm giving this one an 8. I like this one.
Okay.
Wow.
An 8. That's higher than I thought.
I
mean,
like it better. It's hard because this is what I wanted to say when you first asked me about first impressions, right? Like I saw this film as a new to the DC Superman fandom.
Right. So
Right?
this is
I was
foundational for you in terms
addicted
of
to Smallville.
Yeah.
And this
Okay.
came out in the middle of my addiction to Smallville.
Right.
Right? So,
middle of my
so this is
addiction.
like a formative piece of my descent
Right.
into loving
Yeah.
this character.
Which which is interesting
So I
because
like it better than the Christopher
I
Reeve
had seen
films.
Christopher Reeve before.
I did not see
right,
those until later.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I will say, and I said this before in other episodes, some of the, I don't know if it was 1 or 2, but like Christopher Reeve makes a better Superman than this guy. I just enjoy this film more than I enjoyed those films.
And then obviously, I mean, this goes without saying, the Christopher Reeve Superman film is a more important Superman film than because it
for sure.
just has this legacy.
But it's similar to like because of my age or also because, you know, I'm a girl or I didn't start off as a nerd or whatever. I didn't get introduced to things like this or Star Wars, for example. Like Star Wars I became more interested in later in life. And you gotta
like
take
your late
a minute.
20s.
You gotta take a minute to be like, it's a bit slower, you know. When I finally, somebody kept trying to get me to watch Star Wars from episode 1, and that was obviously the wrong approach, which is why I never got into it until somebody said, no, start at episode 4.
Right.
Yeah.
I started episode 4, but it took a minute for me to be like, okay,
Right.
I have to remember that this was made a long
In
time ago,
77,
right?
yeah.
So there's that element of like these movies aren't as fun to watch for me as this one.
Yeah,
So-
no, for sure. Pete, what say you as far as scores?
The first half I really enjoyed, and I think I was going to give it an incredibly high score.
Okay.
The second half brought it down a little bit for me, but I think I still give it a 7. Like it's
Yeah.
still
It's
good,
a solid one.
and it's not perfect, but I was really like captivated. This wasn't a chore to watch. I was truly just sucked in, and it wasn't perfect, but it was entertaining. I think what brings it down is kind of like with the end of the Christopher Reeves ones, especially with number 4, I just hated how everything just fell from a cliff of like what's happening to Lana, what's happening to Lacey, what's going to happen with Lois and Clark, what's going to happen with Superman and Lois, you know, like all these unresolved storylines. Kind of with this, there's some unresolved stuff too that I just, knowing that this rendition doesn't get continued, I'm curious what happens with the son. I'm curious what happens with Lois and James Marsden. You know, like there's some aspects that it's interesting. They're really sitting down some interesting stuff, but I know it doesn't really go anywhere. So, 7. What'd you give it?
Well, I think I'm sitting at a 6.5.
Okay.
I don't dislike it. I don't love it. To me, it reeks of the comic book films of the 2000s. Of to me, it reeks of the post Batman Returns, but pre Iron Man superhero films, right? So it feels it's got that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four films from the 2000s or the whatever else kind of sensibility to it, and you can see that like it just feels like, yes, this is how we wrote and shot, and the seriousness with which we took superhero films specifically in the 2000s. And so there's something fun about that, because that is the age that I like when this film came out. I was 14. Yeah, I was 14. Is that right?
You have to tell me.
Yeah. I was 14.
I was 18.
Seems wrong. How old are you now?
I'm 37 now.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Okay, so that works out.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm doing them.
But you were a teenager.
Yeah. So I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was 14 when this came out. And so a little too old for it to be like a childhood favorite type of thing. And so I sort of just missed the window on it in that sense. But it's still good. Like, it's still good. So 6.5, definitely above middle of the road. And yeah, just not amazing. So, but next time we're reviewing Man of Steel, which is like,
give me Henry Cavill.
It's a hot topic because there are a lot of people, like film critics and audience and whatever, that think that Man of Steel is just a shit film.
I don't understand that.
I'm worried that I'm not going to enjoy it again.
Have you not seen it?
I've seen it, but not in a long time. Like, I think Superman Returns might be my favorite. That's my anticipation, that I'm thinking Man of Steel won't be as fun to watch of the two.
It's not as fun.
No,
not
it's dark.
It's dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not as fun.
Maybe that's why
It's
people
not
hate it,
as-
because
yeah.
Superman's not supposed to be dark.
It feels gritty. It
This is-
feels real world.
This is my thing. The comic book nerds get all their panties in a wad when superhero films come out, especially the DC ones. They're so damn like, I hate this because it's not exactly what I wanted. I know? Like, I just feel like they all get so
Are you
mad.
listening, Carl?
Just give
you
it
listening?
a chance.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, I totally. But so Man of Steel will be to Superman Returns what
Dark Knight.
what Christopher Nolan's Batman films are to Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison. I agree.
So
Right.
okay, sir,
but
wrap it up.
Henry Cavill.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us again, Emily. It was a treat having a mater on the show, and an even bigger treat that it was you. And
I'm more fun than the other one.
Everyone's fun. But it is fun having you. Thank you for listening. Check out our socials below. Check out our Patreon page, our merchandise page, ways for you to support the show, ways for us to say thank you for supporting the show. Continue checking out our First Time Watch series, continue checking out our Superman series, and check out our recently, at the time of recording this, our recently released Mission Impossible 8 review. Coincidentally, a Tom Cruise movie. We reviewed a Tom Cruise series. Yes, shocking, amazing.
We've done 2 Tom Cruise series now.
Yeah, at least.
I mean,
Top Gun
Top Gun was
counts.
less of a commitment. It's 2 films.
two movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, and until next time, fighting truth and justice in the American way, or whatever Superman says. I'm not sure. Something like that.
I haven't seen any of the Jerry Maguire films.
What?
There's literally one.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it.
Let's do it. Let's do that series.